Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am Sunique and I'm so happy you're here because today I am really excited. It's come. The mass market edition of the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot is here, so I can now use this deck without worrying about damaging it. I have got the indie version, but it's just because it's so precious I can't actually use it, which is ridiculous. So when they said this was going to be available pretty soon, I jumped on it. So let's just try and open it. Oh, calm down. Right, okay. There we go. Wow. Oh, so Blue Angel have picked this deck up. And I really like Blue Angel cardstock. It's one of my favourites. Oh, I just can't wait to open this. So as I understand it, there are some changes to the deck, because I think people were getting upset that they'd paid quite a lot of money for the indie deck, and then the mass market comes out at like a mass market price. Oh, isn't it beautiful? So yeah, they decided to make a few changes. We shall see what those changes are. We've got the Fool going into the portal in the wise tree there. Oh, okay, so Avalon Cameron is the author and the beautiful Anna Torian is the artist, and I think I've got, bar one, every Anna Torian deck out there. So what does it say? So this is the reawakening, sorry. Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot, the reawakening. And it says, welcome to the world of Bonestone and Earthflesh, where myth and mysticism intertwine. This tarot deck is a journey through sacred landscapes and enduring narratives where the hero, the villain, the lover, and the seer all leave their mark. Each card carries the voice of land spirits, protective deities, and the wisdom of those who came before. Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot, the reawakening, is rooted in the primal and the eternal. This new edition of the international bestseller by Avalon Cameron and Anna Torian is an invitation to explore, remember, and weave your own path of self-discovery. It is dedicated to the mystics, dreamers, and seekers who trust in the transformative power of divination to reveal their inner temple. But it says in the bottom here, this is a world between worlds, a place of discovery, redemption, damnation, and self-realization. How will you weave your story? Oh, indeed. So as with all Blue Angel decks, we get this protective paper. Here's the companion book, and it's meaty. And here are the cards, and we've got this lovely ribbon here. It's gorgeous colours. So let's get them out. Oh, thumb holes. Thank you. Not gilded. Don't really like these types of boxes, to be fair. Not my favourite. Let's get into this beauty. So just putting this to one side for a second, I just want to show you how much of a fangirl I am of Anna Torian's artwork. I love Anna Torian's artwork. So I've got my little box of Anna Torian here. Of course I've got the indie version of Bonestone and Earthflesh, which I absolutely adore, and it's such a precious deck. I got this in a trade for another special deck. I'll link the video below, actually, when I first got this, because you can see my excitement. And knowing now that it's out in mass market, I'm just like, wait, I can actually use this and not worry about damaging my copy. I've got two versions of the Oracle of Echoes, first and second edition. I've got the Pathwork Oracle, which is lovely. It's very chakra based, that one. I've got and I feel quite privileged I've got this deck, the Tarot of Echoes. So that sort of goes along with the Oracle of Echoes. Beautiful. I've got the Tarot of the Abyss, which is a black and white deck, but sort of cream and black. It's really nice. And I've also got, back in the box, this one, the Tarot Arthurian, which is a French publication, so the guidebook is in French. We do have Google Translate, which is great. And also there are interviews with Claire Duval on YouTube as well, explaining this deck, which is the great videos. But what I've also got, because I couldn't originally get Bonestone and Earthflesh, I plumbed for this, which is the Sketchbook edition. And so, got my little rune there. Yeah, these are the backs, which are very like the backs of the indie version. I'll just get the indie version out and show you. This is in a 2-part box. 2-part boxes are not my fave. I don't think this is in order actually. Never mind. So we've got beautiful red edges here. These are the backs, and you can see they're quite similar to the sketchbook version. So I think what I'm going to do is a side by side with those three actually. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we've got the indie version, this beautiful red gilded edging. I've got the sketchbook edition here. So those two are going to look very similar. And then this is this mass market edition, and it's got a different back to the other two. And a few revised cards. I have been following the progress of this deck on socials. It's about the same size. Actually, it's a little thicker than the indie. Let's see, one, two, three, about 4 cards thicker than the indie version. Different card stock, obviously. This is lovely, smooth card stock. I think I got this from Make Playing Cards. This is actually the Ace of Swords image. Let's show you. Yeah, it's the Ace of Swords image. And reversed as well, so you can tell which way up the cards are. Now, there are a few different iterations of the card. I can't remember how many are different. There's not that many. But we'll just go through them, I think. Okay, so what I've done is I've put this new version, this mass market edition, in the middle. And then on either side, the original. So the original sketch and the indie version. And I'm just going to look at those side by side. I have done an actual walkthrough of the original, of the indie deck. So I'm not going to really comment on the cards there. But yeah, let's just see the differences. Okay. Otherwise, it's going to be a really long video. What I'm seeing immediately is the perspective. This indie version looks a lot bigger image, and this one looks like it's zoomed out. So we get more of the image here. You can look at the bottom there. Look at the fairy, and it's right at the edge on the indie version. Yeah, so that's zoomed in. And on this one, we've got a banner with the name of the card, the full. So we've just got this little green one here. But this one's actually got a name on it. So it's naming the personalities of the card. That's interesting. All right. This is a card that's changed. See immediately. I think this one's Avalon's grandfather now. But yeah, that's one of the changes, and they've called him the grey one. So let's just go through quite quickly. What I like about the sketchbook edition is we can see the details so much clearer than we can in the colour version. So if you see here, this bird here, you can't really see it on the actual watercolour version. So it's useful for that. same. The Hierophant's the grandmother, isn't that interesting? The wise owl at the top. Yeah, interesting, the difference in it, the way it's zoomed out a bit more, and the details that we can see now. This is my least favourite card in the deck, and I'll tell you my favourite when we come to it. The Beast. Put the right way around. I've got these the wrong way around now. There we go. I mean, for instance, the sketchbook edition, as I was saying, you can see more detail. So yes, we can see the elephant and the beast there, but at the bottom here, we've got a snake, which isn't that easy to actually make out on this. And we've got this beast here as well, which is, it's there, but easier to see on the sketchbook edition. So far, we've had one different card, which is that Magician. These are all the same. These are the same. This one is interesting. Look what a difference it makes in zooming out on this card. We've got more of the torso of Odin here, but we do lose some of the runes and the detail at the bottom here because of this banner. So okay, the hourglass for temperance. Okay, we're coming up to a change here for the Tower card. So yeah, this is the change for the Tower card, and we've gone to the Mighty Oak. So it's the tree again, but this time the tree has been struck by lightning. So the Fool is going into this tree, into this portal, and yeah, there's a bit of a problem inside that tree. But this is quite, I don't know, it's not a nice image, is it? But then it is the Tower. So we've got the tree in all three images of the world, but here we've got the Fool coming back out of that tree, and it looks as if it's the other side of the tree, but being welcomed again by those that the Fool left behind in the first place. Isn't that interesting? And yeah, that Tower card as well. These cards are a little bit difficult to handle at the moment because they're so new. However, but there we can see those three connections here between the Fool, the Tower and the world. So good, isn't it? So good. Okay, so let's keep them in order. Then we've got the extra card in this deck, which is the Bruja. I think that's how it's pronounced, which I think is supposed to be Avalon Cameron, or depiction of. Okay, so here we have the Serpent Fire, the Ace of Wands. Okay, we've got a different card here in the Two of Wands. So this is the original and this is the new version. There's not much difference really. This figure here has sort of disappeared on the sketch version, which is interesting. But yeah, we've got a different image here. So we've got Scylla and we've got like a wider perspective, or a higher perspective in that balloon. Very different to the original. I think this one's changed as well. Yeah, there we go. So I've always thought that this card, with them all climbing up the tree and trying to get up to the top first, was very like the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann, and it always sort of put me off, to be fair. Whereas this one it's completely changed, which is nice, and we've got a competition element there with the archery competition. I love these horses. I prefer the indie version so far going through this because of the way it's zoomed out. I mean, this horse looks like it's coming straight towards us and it's really close, whereas, you know, a little bit of a disconnect on that one for me personally. I always think of the Hollies song when I see this image. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. You know, a burden we're willing to take on. It's called Digger. There's a difference actually in the sketch version of this card. The tiger, it's in a different position. It's higher up there, which is quite interesting in the Page of Wands. So yeah, there's even differences in the sketchbook version if you look closely. If you notice as well, when we have that ace, the Queen of Wands seems to be actually wearing that serpent fire around the neck. Although here it's fire and water because it's the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is water and fire, elementally. The sun god Ra there. So we draw on quite a few different pantheons in this deck as well. Into the cups. A little different in the sketch version as well. We've got this sort of sun and moon eclipse here, which we don't really have on this one. Sad card, isn't it? Farmer and his wife. Charlatan. I like the fact that they are named on this. I mean, here we have Morgana. So we have that reference right on the card. It's just a shame it's so, I don't know. I would have preferred it sort of like this, where it's unobtrusive. Here it's sort of taken away from the image, in my opinion. Also on the sketch card, you can actually see the boat and the figure a lot clearer than you can in these. Well, I can. And there seems to be something in the distance here, which isn't represented on the sketch one. do the Ten of Cups, which is quite confusing because it's a cup on its own, which would make you think it's the Ace of Cups, but it's the 10. So you need to remember that when you're working with it. Mind you, it's actually on the card, so there's that. The way the Knight of Cups is deep within their element. This will be Mermaid. So again, a different pantheon. Poseidon. Now we have the Ace of Swords that's depicted on the back of the card. Beautiful, this card, isn't it? We can really see the crossroads here on the sketch version. Sometimes these get a little bit busy and so it's difficult to make out some of the details. And also there's a colour change, very subtle, but there is little colour changes. One of my favourite Three of Swords. I really like this card. You know, instead of getting 3 swords through a heart, here we've got the whole messiness of the 3. But from that mess comes a new growth, and we do learn from the lessons of the Three of Swords. We're never the same afterwards. Different perspective on life. It's a sexy one. It's a sexy card. He took all of his armour off, and maybe it was a little bit too soon if we follow this trajectory. He's done with his armour on in that one. Shadow Emissary. They're great descriptors, aren't they, on these cards? There's my favourite card in the deck. I love that card. That fierceness of it. It's, as I said, it's a little more close up in the indie version, but this is still great. I really like it, the Beast. I really like the Temperance card as well in the Marielle Tarot. It's the same sort of energy for me. It's like, it's in your face, you can't ignore it. And it's challenging, you know. You have young Merlin here, the apprentice. In the Arthurian legends. Athena. Ooh. Morrigan. And King Arthur. That looks different, doesn't it? Different face, I think. Definitely a different eye colour. The hair sort of looks the same. The beard looks different. But it's a slight change, I think. But we've lost a lot of the sword in this version, which is the indie, we actually see in the new mass market. So there are advantages and disadvantages to both. Another confronting card, Four of Pentacles. A bit like the Deviant Moon, Four of Pentacles. It sort of reminds me of the fact that we can't take it with us. You know, as much as we want to hoard what we have, at the end of our time on this earth, we leave with nothing. We came with nothing, we leave with nothing. Here's another tree image. This time it's sheltering us in the Five of Pentacles. This time of year, it's really a good idea to help the wildlife, isn't it? Feed those birds. 7. Another one I'm not that keen on. The roses behind her, but to me it sort of looks first glance like a snail, but it's not, obviously. And Dionysus has changed as well. I think there's a different face. It looks a lot younger on this one. Page of Pentacles. So we've got Lilith on the Knight of Pentacles, but I would say that's Medusa. I've always thought that was Medusa on the indie version here, but here it's Lilith. So there's that. Baba Yaga with the chicken foot, and we've got the green man for the King of Pentacles. And we did have the green woman earlier on in the deck. So those two align. This is very difficult when it's a new deck. It doesn't want to play. So we've got this one in the Nine of Wands. Those are the decks side by side. Now, which one would you prefer? I love them all. I absolutely love them all. Don't want to part with any of them, ever, 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 ever. Always stay in my collection, forever and ever. Okay, I love the tin as well for this. Oh, right way around. Yeah. I love the tin for this sketchbook edition as well. I think it's beautiful. Okay, shall we have a quick look at the guidebook? So, the companion book here is 377 pages. It has journal prompts. It has a narrative for each card. Correspondences, so Capricorn, Fire of Earth. So they've assigned the kings to fire in this version. So therefore, the knights would be air. Yeah, okay, so Three of Swords. Oh, the charred heart. Sorrow and conflict intertwine, causing inner turmoil and the destruction of love. Yet from this heartbreak emerges a pathway to breakthrough, understanding and transformative healing. So we have hope there. We have what it means in a reading, and then reversed. I would say a narrative, so little story, correspondence, and then the journal prompts. So that's cool. And then we get, yeah, look at that beautiful image. So this is the reawakening. Table of contents. Let's go through the first few pages. So this is from Avalon. A little quote there. A little forward from Benabel Wen. A preface and acknowledgements. The lines of gratitude. We have a binding for the deck. In the beginning there was a library of leaves. The secrets of earth, flesh, astrological correspondences. So we've got this astrological signs here, we've got the planets and even the outer planets. How to use the information. We have some numerology, even life path numbers. That's great, isn't it? Personality numbers, very Mary Kay Greer. Destiny number, yeah, master numbers. So that's, yeah, if you look at Tarot for Yourself by Mary Kay Greer, that goes into real depth with that numerology. And then clarifying between the majors and minors. Secrets of the Bonestone, building a relationship with the deck. Path working. A ritual. Some smoke cleanse blends here. Some tarot spreads. 1 card, 3 card, 5 card, 7 card, and a conclusion. And then we're into the cards. So yeah, the majors, 1, 2, 3, 4, well, 3.5 pages, and we do have a little thumbnail of the card image. So we get quite a bit of information, even the same amount for the minors, and I so appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. In the indie version, let's have a look what we get in this one. the companion book, which is quite large in height. We've got the sketchbook edition there of the full. Introduction, working with your deck. Yeah, so that's the same. Journal, path working, about the deck, the secrets of Earthflesh. Spreads. And then into the card. So that looks pretty much the same. Here we've got the binding. The forward. Again, Benable went in 2018. Introduction, working with the deck. Yeah, so it looks pretty much the same. Secrets of Earthflesh, the ritual, the cleansing recipes with loose smoke. With that. Some spreads. That's an 8-card spread there. Flesh and bone. Okay, I think we've got different spreads. Now into the majors, a quick reference to the major cards. Then we get 1, 2, 3 pages. So if we go to that, to the end. Yeah, we still have journal prompts. There's the Bruja, the extra card. Conclusion, special thanks, and lyrics. Oh. About the creator, about the illustrator. And that's the book. Let's look at this 9 of Cups here and just compare it quickly. So, yeah, Peacock, Queen and the Elixir of Life. Number 9, Sephiroth. Yes, does it say that in here anyway? Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't give us the Tree of Life correspondence. That's interesting. Okay, so it's still got Jupiter in Pisces, Hermit and the Sun. We have an essence, which I don't see in here. So really keywords. A narrative. We have a narrative here. Yeah. That's been rewritten, but in essence it's the same. And then journal prompts. We've got inner reading, reversed. Inner reading, reversed. Journal prompts. Are you the type of person who makes wishes? In what ways do you find yourself making wishes? So it's just been reworded, really. They're the same, but I think it's just been reworded. Okay, so, yeah. The indie version and the mass market version of the Bonestone and Earthflesh and the sketchbook version, all side by side. So I hope you enjoyed this. It was very interesting for me, and I'm so happy we've got it out in mass market. Now I don't need to be so precious with the Bonestone. I mean, it's already a bit chipped here, isn't it? But I've been trying to be really, really careful with this deck. But now I can actually use this version and not worry about it, because, you know, this version costs a lot of money. This one, just over £20. So no need to be so precious with it as with the indie version. I'm so happy I've got both versions though. I feel so privileged to have both versions. And like I say, I only have got the indie version because I did a tarot swap with somebody over in America actually. And I'm so forever grateful to that lady, because otherwise I would never have had this deck, and it's just so special to me. And I highly recommend it. The amount of information you get in the guidebook, it's like a course in tarot all on its own. And added to that, the beautiful illustrations of Anna Turian. What more could you want? It's so good. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Until my next video. Bye friends. Bye.